The most broke person in the room is usually the one who looks the richest. And the quiet millionaire 2 seats down looks like he's never had a good year in his life. By the end of this, you'll never mix the two up again. Because real wealth doesn't show up in what people buy. It shows up in a short list of things they flatly refuse to buy, no matter how much money they have. Here's the trap almost everyone falls into. We're taught that money is for buying nicer stuff, so we assume the person with the nicest stuff has the most money. It's almost always backwards. 7 things the wealthy will not buy. Watch for them. Number 1. A brand new car off the lot. We read an expensive car as proof of wealth. Usually it's the reverse. The average new car payment in America is now around $770 a month, and more than 1 in 5 buyers signed up for over $1,000. And the second you drive it home, it starts bleeding value, losing 15 to 20% in the first year alone. That same $770 a month invested at 8% for 30 years becomes more than $1 million. In the largest study of millionaires ever done, 10,000 of them skipping car payments was one of the habits they credited most. They buy a boring used Toyota with cash and let the other guy make the payments. It's not that they can't afford the new one. It's that they ran the math. Number 2. Lottery tickets and every cousin of the lottery. Americans spent a record $104 billion on lottery tickets last year, and here's the part nobody says out loud. The poorest households spend around 5% of their income chasing that jackpot. The richest spend about 0.15. The lottery is a tax the people who can least afford it pay the most. The wealthy already know the only lottery with real odds is 30 years of boring automatic investing. They're not buying a ticket, they're buying time. Number 3, a credit card balance. In that same study of 10,000 millionaires, nearly 3 out of 4 said they've never carried a balance in their entire life. Not once. Meanwhile, most of the country rolls a balance month to month at interest north of 20%, carry $5,000 at 22%, and you hand the bank over $1,000 a year for nothing. Rich people use the card constantly for the points and the protection, then wipe it to 0 the second the statement lands. It's not that they can't float the balance. It's that they ran the math. Quick thing before number 4. If any of this is landing, do me a favor and subscribe, because the next one quietly makes rich people richer while everyone else is busy gambling. Number 4. Logos to impress strangers. The designer bag, the flashy watch, the badge on the hood. Most of the time that isn't wealth, it's a performance of wealth, bought for an audience of strangers who forget you in 10 seconds. In that same research, 94% of millionaires said they live on less than they make. The person spending to look rich is auditioning. The person who actually is rich feels 0 need to prove anything to a table full of people they'll never see again. Let that land. Number 5. The hot stock, the sure thing coin, the tip a coworker swears by. There's a fantasy that rich people caught one perfect trade at the perfect moment. The data says the opposite. In that study of 10,000 millionaires, not one named single stock gambling as a major reason for their wealth. It didn't even crack the top 3. About 75% said the real reason was regular, consistent investing over a long stretch of time. The people chasing the thrilling play have the loudest stories and the emptiest accounts. It's not that they can't stomach the risk. It's that they ran the math and slow won. Number 6. More house than they actually need. A big house looks like the ultimate proof you've made it. But the wealthy rarely buy the biggest mortgage the bank will hand them. That number quietly turns you into a high-earning, house-poor prisoner, every raise swallowed by the payment and the upkeep. Real wealth usually looks like a normal home on a normal street, bought well within their means, while the money that would have gone to a bigger place goes to work in investments instead. From the curb, they look like their neighbors. On paper, they're nothing alike. It's not that they can't qualify for the mansion. It's that they refuse to let a house own them. Number 7. The one underneath all the others. They never buy other people's approval. Every sign on this list comes back to one quiet decision. They stopped spending money to change how strangers see them. And once you stop paying for approval, something enormous opens up. All the money that used to leak out to impress people now buys the only thing that matters: options. The freedom to walk away from a bad job or sit at your kid's game on a Tuesday without a knot in your stomach. That's the calm you feel radiating off certain people. It was never about the stuff. It was about everything they refused to buy. So look again at that quiet person who doesn't look rich at all. Now you know what you're seeing. Not a lack of taste. A list of no's long enough to buy a life. Real wealth was never the shiny thing in the driveway. It's the gap between what comes in and what you refuse to waste it on. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 hit the hardest? Drop it in the comments, because the person scrolling past might need that exact push today.